Hello, welcome back to another episode. So this year we've actually teamed up with Platinum Racing Products. Ben has kindly been a great contact there, and I guess we get to try some cool new products. So on the 32, I'm going to use the twin scroll T4 manifold with the G45 turbo as previously shown and discussed. However, I nearly did change my mind with this next product, and this product is an R32 stainless manifold. So for over a year now, I've sort of wanted to use one of these manifolds or test and check them out. And from its first look, it does not disappoint. Check this out. So this is a stainless steel 70mm V-band single wastegate exhaust manifold. So stainless steel by R32, it's pretty cool. Now the reason that I've wanted to sort of check these out or use one is in the marine industry, which is where my background sort of comes from. We've used these stainless manifolds or cast stainless exhaust mixer elbows, that sort of stuff, for quite some time, like 10 to 15 years. And I've always wondered why it was never used in the automotive industry. But Ben from R32 is just changing the game at the moment with these manifolds. So this is a V-band manifold, and it's sort of a higher horsepower manifold, being 70mm V-band. We've got an awesome R32 manifold. Thank you to Ben from PRP, and I'm looking forward to using this. One of the issues we had with the billet block was crankcase ventilation. So firstly, when we started the engine up and on the dyno, we were filling up the catch can or the crankcase ventilation can really quickly. So to show you straight up, there's 1, 2, 3 oil returns that go back to sump on the billet block. So you've got your turbo drain, your head drain, and then this one here is actually another crankcase ventilation. And then you've got a big -16 orb, which is also crankcase ventilation. So this one here, I used to run it's a -16 orb, which goes straight into the middle of the crank. But Bullet decided to put it right underneath the exhaust manifold. So if you fit the exhaust manifold up on, and I do understand, I don't know why they did it or had to do it there, but it ended up there. It is a pain in the ass. So what we had there was actually either burning and rubbing on the exhaust, or it had too much of a loop in it. And by loop, I mean it was coming out of the block, looping down and then up to the catch can. And what would happen is oil would splash out of the crankcase ventilation, just splash out, not pushed. It would splash out and fill the pipe full of oil, and then the ventilation would push that oil up into the catch can. So it wasn't actually spraying oil out, it's just the fact that it splashes a little bit out, eventually fills up, and the air from the ventilation actually pushes the oil out. So what we did is simply just bring this hose straight up to the catch can, and it never filled up because that oil would splash and just run back down. The problem was we had this, it was touching on the manifold and it was far too close for me to be happy with. So we do have two options, and they're these close fit 90s. One's a -12, one's a -16 to -12, but it's still quite big. I didn't realise it was going to be so big. So we're going to wind it in and just see if we have some clearance. So it sort of needs to be on a angle no less than that, because you want the oil to run back down. So we push that on and hold it up. It's going straight into it, so we can't even poke it up like that because it's so close. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to try the R32 one just to see if that's going to be a pain in the arse. Heaps of clearance. That's awesome. So this manifold that Ben made from R32, It actually fits anything up to a 83, 85, which is like a G45-1500 on a 30 block or a 26 block in a 32. So in a 33, we're going to have much more room again, bigger engine bay, higher hood. So we should be right to run a good, decent G45 on that, or we put a G42-1450 and have a really responsive 1000 horsepower engine. Doesn't matter. What I do love is this single wastegate, and it's like right in the best position there. So this, it sort of hugs straight back down. Your dump pipe's going to be here, and then you've got a beautiful spot and heaps of room for a 60 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil wastegate right there. Single wastegates are sick. Thanks for watching so far. If you haven't subscribed, do it now, because we want to make this channel massive. Don't forget, R32 GTR V-Spec in white, building soon. Long story short, this is a breakdown on how to time your RBs. With the extension for the RB30 block makes no difference to the timing. I've read online that someone tried to tell me that the deck height made it different, and then fuck no, that's not the case at all. So as long as you've got your crank at top dead center, I did it just with a screwdriver, so gently rest it on top of the piston, wait till it comes up, check your marks down here. There's a mark on the side there. There actually is a little pinhole for the billet blanking plate, because we got no oil pump there. And then yeah, got your markings here, which are like, it's make sure you just run your tooth to a dot right at the back to line it up, because it can be a little bit misleading. Another quick way is between your marks, including your mark, is 39 teeth to the other one, okay? So count from there, line it up, 39 teeth to this one. This was 3 teeth out before, so it was 42, or yeah, 42 teeth. So we brought it back to 39 teeth, which lines up perfectly. This is done. This thing has got an adjuster. This thing has got a belt adjuster here. And then it's also got like a spring-loaded tensioner, which just keeps pressure on the belt down there. And now I'm just slowly winding on the harmonic balancer. Don't use a rattle gun to do this. Use a normal tool. I do love using my factory OEM nuts and bolts, and this is how they come. So still in part numbers, they'll all have their Nissan part numbers on them, and then they put them together for you. So that there, I just rang up and asked for the front timing cover, so just the front RB26 cover, that one there. I just needed the hardware to bolt it up. The other stuff was old and crummy. Rightio, time to build these bad boys. So, Turbo Smart 40 mil wastegates. They look really good, the clamps are good. It's time to get this stinking bit of metal in there where it belongs. Now, I have been working tirelessly at this wiring loom. So I've done a complete fuse box delete, and I don't want to cut up the factory loom. This is a new loom, so we don't want to cut it up. I am going to go through it and cut out the bits we don't need, because there's a lot of rubbish in there. But what I'm going to do is mount this fuse box on a bracket up under there. I just have to be very careful, remembering our intercooler pipe comes around, and it'll have to be sturdy so it doesn't shake, and it'll still have the factory lid and everything on it. So one day, if we ever put this thing back to complete standard, which we never will, but one day if I want to put the fuse box back there, I can. So nice and easy. Onto this thing, we've got to go through a massive box full of racework stuff. Got to tick everything off actually, and yeah, just got a few more hoses that I want to change around. So okay, so we've got big box of goodies just in time to do the intercooler piping on the GTR. So the motor's going back in, as you can see. Brad's fixed up our intake manifold. It's nice and new, which is why it's all taped up. And then these here, so I've actually been waiting quite some time for this stuff, probably 4 months I would say, and it's just because of the whole supply chain issue at the moment. But let's have a look inside. So with the GTR, because we've set such a high standard now, especially with the 32, the things I think I had trouble with on the dyno and manufacturing was the intercooler piping. When we've gone up to a G45 turbo, it's a much bigger turbo, we've got a bigger intercooler, everything's gone up in dimensions, and so is the quality. So what we've got here is, and I've never used it before, but we've gone with Vibrant Performance. I mean, it already comes in pretty cool packaging, but quality is what we want. So let's have a look at this. This is a 45 bend, I would say, and that's polished aluminium. So that is pretty cool. That's actually, that's unreal. See the bend radius, how nothing changes? I don't know if you're going to be able to see that down inside there, but there's no dimple marks where it's been in the pipe bender at all, and it's polished aluminium. So the engine back in there. So I've got about half a day left, and there's still a lot to do, so I need to pull my finger out, but we're going to lift it up now, slide the table there with the subframe on it. So I'm very lucky that everything's done. This is literally, this time we're just piecing it all back together, and because we did such a good job making everything, it's been pretty pleasant so far. Righto. So, jump out of the forklift. Now, motor's pretty sweet, sitting pretty happy. Have a look underneath, make sure that sump's all right where we glued it back on, and it looks pretty good. Yeah. This time I made sure I got, put a bit of extra silicone just down there, because when you're cleaning or working or whatever, stuff does get stuck down in this little valley there. So that's nice and neat. All the pipe work's done. So if I didn't explain it already, but for the heater hose pipe, I've actually gone back to push lock rubber hose. It's a good hose. It's coolant safe, E85 safe, and it's push lock. So you just push it on. There's no hose clamps, and then it goes to an AN fitting. So that's -10, and it's much better than just braided Teflon for a coolant hose. You don't need to use braided Teflon for a coolant hose. To me, that looks just as good as factory, if not better. And then this time, remembering we've got our -6 here, which goes to the top of the swirl pot. So normally this heater hose wouldn't be joining there. It would actually be going through the heater box on the vehicle, but we're not doing that because we live in North Queensland and it's hot as fuck all year round. So we can drop that down now. That can go straight down. So we've got an engine mount here. It's got to go down into there. Axle got to go up into the diff. And then on the other side, same thing. Pretty straightforward stuff. You guys have seen it a million times before. So I'm going to get this done. I don't think we need to show it. As I said, you've seen an engine in and out a million times before. Rightio, we got the motor back in. I've been hard at it doing a lot of work on the car. The black looks fantastic. I love the textured finish, and it looks really simple and very factory looking. I've got the Frenchie's Performance Garage steering pump kit. We've also got his AC kit down there, which looks fantastic. And then obviously the biggest upgrade is our new Garrett. This is a G45-1500, 82 rear and a 76 front, which so equivalent to a 76-82 in precision terms, if you want to do that. We've also changed a few things. We're swapping over to hypertune clamps. So all of our intake or intercooler pipes now are going to be hypertuned just to match there was nothing wrong with the other ones. I just wanted them to match coolant hoses. The biggest upgrade since we worked on the car last year is I've actually deleted the fuse box. So I've freed up all this space here now. I actually don't want anything here. So I'm going to try and run just that catch can over there. We're going to have it drain back to the sump, and this catch can here, the ATP one, I'm actually going to try and not put it there just to keep this super clean, super simple. As you come up through here, we've got our swell pot, which is in the same position as it was last time. We've also got our sensor block, which I've tidied up heaps and freed up all this wiring, just gotten rid of everything. It looks so much better. I've deleted all the wiring through here. I've fixed all the wiring, kept it out of the way. I cut everything out of this main loom that I didn't need. So this loom here now, you can see the main one across the back. It's all been stripped of all the wires that it didn't need, and I've just wrapped it up really neat and tidy. We're very fortunate with this car to have and people made comments saying that this was brand new. This is not brand new. If you're to replace that now, you actually have to get the S15 one or the R34 one, and that is square and shorter. So to have it round and matching is pretty cool. I've tidied up a bit of wiring through here as well, just deleted whatever we didn't need, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked with it. Righto, so you're up to date with the car. Next episode we'll be fitting nitrous to the GTR and the billet block. Never done it before, going to be interesting. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and join the GTR Legends membership on our YouTube channel, $4.99 a month, giving away great prizes. See you next week.